Hey guys, and welcome to my review of the A1 Mini by Bambulab. I'll be diving into my own personal experiences with this 3D printer and include what I've printed over the past several weeks. I also include the pros and cons which I think are valid in terms of my own experience. And without further ado, let's begin. Let me start with its arrival. So like when it first came, it was securely packaged and wasn't as heavy as I assumed it to be. Unboxing and setting it up was a breeze and took me about like 20 minutes. This is including just watching a short YouTube tutorial. Once I set it up, it just worked straight out of the box, no issues whatsoever. It done its first calibration and the filament was fed straight away and I was able to just get started printing. One disclaimer though is that when I went to the updating on the app, I only updated it to the second to most recent update. So it's not on the recent update version. My reasons for buying this printer aren't based on the fact that this printer is probably the best first printer to get if you're just starting out 3D printing. This is actually my second printer that I've ever bought, but it's my first to own as I had pre-ordered one already, and I bought this one to keep me busy and to be introduced into the world of 3D printing. One major factor which convinced me to purchase it was that its amazing price, which was coming in at around 177 British pounds. My first 3D printed model was the Benchy, which took roughly around 11 to 12 minutes using stock settings. And I have to say, the quality was impressive for the speed at which it was printed. My second print was a scraper, which allowed me to remove some of the 3D printed models off the print bed, but mostly for the line which always printed before every print. This took about 6 minutes to print, I'm pretty sure, roughly around there. The print was an infinity cube which took about 1.7 hours to print, and this has to be one of my favorite prints just because of how clean it came out and all the joints move freely. I have several other prints from Maker World, which includes a dummy 13 action figure, an SD card holder, a phone stand, a BB gun and BB bullets, a headphone stand which I forgot to record, sorry about that, a filament purge bin, and finally my own storage container which I made using FreeCAD. So moving on to the pros. One of them is that it works straight out of the box. Another is that the print quality is exceptional so far. The printer isn't too loud when operational. It's definitely bearable. And it doesn't take too much surface area. And most importantly, it's affordable. For the price that I paid for it, I think it was reasonable, coming in at 177, and with the AMS Lite coming in at around under 300 quid. However, it obviously doesn't just come with pros, and so each printer has its own disadvantage. So one of the cons is that the print bed size is only 180 centimeters cube, so you're limited in what you can print. Another is that fitting the filament at times is quite a hassle, especially when changing, since I don't have the AMS Lite, but it doesn't really bother me at all. But in conclusion, overall, I'm glad I got this printer, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who is wanting to explore the world of 3D printing. I've only had about 40 hours on it so far, and I've not experienced any major issues. And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in, and hopefully I can upload more constantly if this was helpful to you. Peace out.